I imagine some of you've already launched Illustrator down on your dock. You've got the applications. One click will do it. Now, what I see and what you see are going to be two different things. These are recent files. And the reason I'm seeing these is because I'm signed into the Creative Cloud. If you're not signed in, if this is gray, you will not see your recent files. This blows kids' minds. Why don't I see my files? Get used to it. Get used to looking up in here. Maybe you need to log in to the Creative Cloud. And if this icon isn't even here, you figure it out. You blew off the last quest. So for the rest of you, we're going to open up a new file. Command N. See, it even shows you the shortcut there is how you open up a new file. So I'm going to hit Command N because I don't like clicking buttons and I want to learn. Now, recent. I don't know what you're going to have here. You may not have anything under recent. But we're going to be creating something for the web. So I want you to click on web, and then we're going to use a custom size. Now, this matters up here, that you know what's going on. Kids will click on film and video, and they will get green lines that are showing you this title safe zones, and they'll wonder what the heck is going on. If that ever happens to you, just remember, hey, I got to tell the program what it is I want to do. And yeah, maybe you want to do art and illustration, but right now we're creating something for the web. Your gravatar, as a matter of fact. And the width and height, this needs to be square. So let's just set this to 1000, and I'm going to hit tab, 1000. I don't like using the mouse. I want to use my hands and get through this as quickly as possible. So the tab lets me move through these fields. The orientation, because it's square, doesn't matter. But there's something really important. Because we clicked on web, this is going to say pixels. But you have to know that sometimes it's going to say inches. You have to know the difference between pixels and inches, okay? So for right now, just know we're not going to, picas and points are all about commercial printing, and every once in a while I'll get someone who wants to go into that field. I'll help you learn picas and points if that's where you want to go, but we're going to work in pixels and inches. Europe and the rest of the world works in millimeters and centimeters. We're the oddball. So for right now, we'll stick with our oddball ways and work in pixels for this project, inches for print projects, but we'll get to that. So you've got a 1000 by 1000. You've got pixels. You've got web. You have RGB color. There are more settings. We don't need to worry about that right now because we're not going to deal with it. Don't play with the bleed. This is, once again, for commercial printing, and we're not going to be doing that. So don't worry about that right there. The last thing, though, is to give this a title. Now, I'm going to try to encourage you to use camel case, but you know, we'll just learn together. I'm going to call this First Gravatar. Whoops. And not .ai. Illustrator, we handle the name, and Illustrator handles the extension. Now, why is this lowercase and this uppercase, and there's no space between these words? This is camel case. And it's not necessary for you to do this, but it's a good idea. And I'll explain why later, because there is a reason, but do you really want me to go into that at this point? So once you've done that, click Create, and you have our first file. Now, because we've changed the passwords up here, I can now hold down the space bar. See, when I hold down the space bar, here's my cursor. When I hold down the space bar, I get the hand tool, and I can move this around. cool. And this is our artboard. Under View, sometimes you will zoom in. Let me just zoom in. Oh no, I can't tell where anything is. Under the View menu, and I don't even know where this is because I use the shortcuts all the time. Fit Artboard in Window. And I actually looked for the shortcuts. The Command plus, Command minus, zoom in and out. Fit Artboard in Window, Command 0. This is really a good idea to learn this. Not Command O, that's open. But Command 0 says, hey, put that artboard back where I can see everything. Got it? So we now have this file open. And look up here. It's even titled. It tells us what percent we're looking at it. We're in RGB. How wonderful. I'm going to stop this video here and we'll move on to another video for these next steps.